Listen, Mickey's here. Look, I once read a critic. He described a play that got a standing ovation as the standingest standing ovation he'd ever witnessed. And I must say, as comebacks go, and actually you've been back for a while anyway, you've been making great films in recent years, but this is in a class of its own, isn't it? I mean, this has to be the greatest comeback in decades of any actor. It's amazing.
Well, I was out of work for decades. So,
yin and yang, one of the...
Oh, you know, it's like, you know, they'd let, you know, I left for a while to go do the sports, and then I came back, and I thought I'd get back into it again, you know, and I had my... When I started to feel different or about myself and things, and the doors were shut, and, you know, I thought maybe in a year or two I could get it back, and then 7, 8, 9 years went by, and, you know...
And you couldn't go back to the boxing because you'd had this, this
yeah,
brain thing.
After the last couple of fights, they, you know, I failed my neurological, and so they told me I couldn't get hit in the head anymore. And said, the doctor said, "How many more do you want?" And I needed 3 more for this title shot. He said, I lied to him. I said, "Just 1 more fight." And then he said, "Well, look at your neuro." And he explained to me how, if you continue, you're on a line, and if you go to the left, there's no coming back.
It's a one-way trip.
Yeah.
So how did that manifest itself? I mean, was it in memory loss or?
Yeah, I couldn't remember. The last 3 years I was fighting, I couldn't remember. By the end of the day, I didn't know what I had for breakfast, where I had it, or when I was standing around just with my friends. How did I get here? Did I drive or not?
Really, that bad?
What you do is you don't deal with it. You go, it's okay. You know.
It's funny.
Know. Yeah. And then after about 3 years, it starts to come back, actually, again.
Well, it clearly has. Otherwise, you couldn't remember your lines, obviously.
No, but remembering my lines was never my problem. I was always pretty good at that, believe it or not.
Yeah, you had that muscle.
I could do that, yeah.
Well, look, the wrestlers...
I mean, is it completely clear now? I mean...
No.
Really?
If I have, like, a little bit more than that to drink, it comes back.
Yeah.
The drink, I mean, there are things, I mean...
Tiredness.
I have... Well, with me, it's I can't do very intricate things with my hands because of the nerve damage, and I have trouble walking downstairs or even upstairs sometimes. That, you know, because every time I've gone to an award show, I've tripped.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You didn't trip at the BAFTAs, did you?
I have to walk like a cyclops. No, but I have to go. I have to move really slow.
Your speech at the BAFTAs it finally got things going. It lit the place up.
That's the point
funny.
I'm trying to make. People will say, "Oh, you had a nice speech here or there," and I go, "Well, I can't really remember it." You know?
You remember the BAFTA speech, surely?
Pieces of it,
Bits
though.
of it.
No, but that's the thing. It's like I remember, like we talk about lies, when I have to focus. You know, some people would say it's selective memory. I don't know if you could put a word on it, but I mean, if I have to, I'll always remember that you have this, because my grandmother's whole house was purple. And I felt very
That's what you meant when you sat down. He said,
when I came
Grandma's
here and I see this, she had stuff like this everywhere. Her walls were purple, her clothes were purple, her rugs were purple.
Well, that's good, because those were good memories of your grandmother.
I had a great grandmother, yeah.
Well, we've got some great questions about the making of the film, but maybe you won't be able to remember the answers.
I'd rather talk about my grandmother.
No, we'll go there. Let's talk. Listen, it's a great film. It's an amazing film with a gut-wrenching finish. And I guess you make of the ending what you make of the ending.
You make of the ending. People say, they say, well, does he live or does he die? And, you know, I say, well, it's really up to the audience, but if I had my pick, I would say, I hope he dies, you know. And we had very little money to make this movie, mainly because of me. Because the director chose, you know, he fought for me to be in the movie. So instead of getting $20 million with another actor, he fought after I was actually replaced. And I understood the politics of it, and I said, you know, thank you for whatever. Anyway, I got put back in, so he did the money for a 14th or whatever of what he could have gotten, you know, and he could have got 3 times more. And he fought for me, so I had to give him everything I had in me.
Yeah, I read that you said it was. You think it's the best movie you've ever made, but it was also the hardest.
Yeah, it was terribly hard. That's why when I was replaced, I was actually relieved, because, you know, I read it, and there were similarities and parallels with my life that were sort of you could say shameful, or issues of feeling like just like a loser, or somebody who's you know, out in Hollywood. I mean, if you were up there and then you go down there, it's very difficult to climb back.
It must be horrible. It must be devastating for the soul unless you are naturally a humble person, and actors can't be humble, otherwise they wouldn't be actors. I mean, you said the scene when your character Ram, he has to get a job in a deli, kind of broke your heart reading that.
Coming up. Down and out. Come on. It's the fourth quarter. Come on, come on, come on. There's 12 seconds left. Go. Down and out. Here. Both hands. Hey, touchdown. God damn. How about them Cowboys? What you having, spring chicken?
Hi.
And I tried to talk Darren out of doing that scene. I said, can't he just be a dishwasher where he hides in the back? And he goes, no, I want to see him feeling those moments of shame. And I think, I didn't realize it at the time that there were pieces that I was relating to. It's like, I could remember, I mean, I've been out of the loop for about 14 years in Hollywood, and, you know, you do get treated differently. You know, before, I couldn't pay for a meal. And, you know, now, years went by, and I couldn't get a table in a restaurant. And I remember yelling at this one guy, and I said, what's the matter? I don't have a friggin' hit movie out. And I didn't talk to him for 3 years, and he said to me one day, aren't you ever going to forgive me for that? And I have now. I don't give a crap about it. But the thing is, that's the principle. And I said to this, I met a man. I was very fortunate when I started the process of trying to fix the broken pieces that caused me to short circuit. And he said to me, you're in a hopeless situation because it's out of your control, and all we have is hope. And that's something that I'll remember. That's why I guess guys tattoo hope on their fingers, is if you have that, you can still keep moving forward, you know? And when I read this material and saw the different similarities and parallels with the character myself, when the movie was over, I realized, working with Darren Aronofsky, after 6 days, I realized we had something very special. You know, I mean, I've been at it a while, and you could tell.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that,
Because directors like him come around every 25 years, I think, like great ball players.